Hey guys, it's Jamie. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to set up and customize your procedure buttons in Dentrix. This is such a helpful tip. I use my procedure buttons all the time when treatment planning, charting existing restorations. So having these set up for how you prefer things and your typical workflow is going to save you so much time. So let's get into it. Okay, so to start, we want to be in a patient chart. And what we're talking about here are these buttons right here. They're called procedure buttons. And yours might look something like this, or it might look different depending on what your office already has set up. This is the Dentrix default icons that go along with different procedures. As you can see, as you hover over them, it will give you a description of what it is. So this is a composite, this is an extraction, this is a periodic exam, and so on. You can customize these, and I recommend highly that you do for everything that your office does frequently or anything that you see frequently. So this is used for treatment planning, but also for charting existing restorations, which is why I always leave an amalgam button. Even though my office does not place amalgams, I still see them quite often. And so I want this icon here so that I can quickly chart existing restorations too. So let's get into how to customize these. So on your top toolbar, you want to go to Setup and then Procedure Button Setup, and that will open this screen here. And this is where all of these buttons are. You can edit them, you can delete them, and you can add new ones. So let's go ahead and add a new one in. So let's click New. And right here, select code. You want to enter the procedure code that you want attached to this button. So you can type it in here if you know it, or you can use this drop down to find what you're looking for. So we'll go with a crown. So we'll click our crown code, and then down here, this is the icon or the button that you will see. So if you use this drop down, you can choose an image. These are all of the images that Dentrix comes with, and then you can also add your own. So you can click new image. This is very rudimentary little image editor, but you can draw in here, you can type in here. You can also copy and paste. So people ask me this a lot. My icons, I have a lot of buttons that I've added that look like this. Like I've used these emojis that I've just copied. So I'll like email myself an emoji from my phone and then import it in. So if you go to this new image, you could just paste it in here, or you can go to File, Open, and add your image in there. So this is a great way to add custom things, but very unnecessary. You can just use what is in here already. So in this scenario, we'll click this one. This looks like a porcelain crown. And then over here, this is what is going to be shown when you hover over the button. So you can just use the procedure description, or you can use custom text. So you could just type in here porcelain crown or whatever you want to show when you're hovered over it. Instead of an icon too, you could use code text. So this is where it will just show what it says. It will just have words there instead of an icon. So this is totally an option as well. But personally, I like having the image, so I always go with this one. Once you have this all set, you'll just click OK. You can see that added that down here to the bottom of my list, and you can also see it added it over here. You can change the order of your icons just by clicking on it here and then moving up. You can see as I'm clicking this, it's moving up over here. So you can arrange your icons however makes sense for you. Another thing that you can do here is add a procedure button for your multi-codes. So if your office doesn't use multi-codes, I have another video that shows you how to create these, and I will leave a link for that here. But very useful to also create a button for these multi-codes as well. So I'll show you if you create a new button and go to the drop down where you go through all of your procedures. At the very bottom, you'll see multi-codes. Multi-codes are super useful for quick treatment planning. So you can see here, I have this crown and buildup. So when I use this multi-code button, all I have to do is click this button one time and it will treatment plan a crown, a buildup, and a seat crown code. So it will bundle all three of those codes together in one button if you have your multi-code set up. So if you don't, go check that video out. That's going to help a lot. But I also recommend having a button for them as well. So I would go in and add all of the procedures in, attach an icon or button to every procedure that your office does or sees frequently so that you have a quick list of things that you can treatment plan from or chart existing restorations from. So when you have everything in here the way that you want, you'll just click Save Button Set, and then it will ask you to give it a name. We'll just call this one Test and click OK. You can see this titled this button set test. So a really important thing to note here is this is computer specific. So you will have to go around to every computer in the office to change this. So this is kind of a case by case what your office prefers. In my office, I like to have every computer set up with the same button set. That way, no matter what computer you're working on, everything is easy to find for everyone in the office. But some offices, you want to have it set for your own specific preferences in your room, and somebody else might prefer something else, and that's fine too. That's why it's set up computer specific. So when you go into a room, if this is the button set that you see, but you want it switched to something else, you'll just go up to setup at the top toolbar, procedure button setup, and just change the button default set to the one that you want. So you can see that changed it here. This is the button set that I personally use in my office. You can see it has pretty much everything in here that my office does or sees regularly. And this can be for anything. So it's definitely for treatment planning and for charting existing restorations, but also really great for conditions. So you can see I have a button here that says watch tooth. I have one that says impacted. So these are great because they're quick things that I'm going to click on when I'm in the middle of an exam or when I have a new patient in the chair. I want to click on these things quickly and easily. I have an entire video on treatment planning and another video on charting existing restorations, both of which I use these a lot for. So if you haven't seen those videos, I will leave a link in the description for those. I highly recommend checking those out if you're looking for a way to increase your efficiency with treatment planning and charting existing restorations. Okay, so that is setting up your procedure buttons in Dentrix. So this is going to save you a ton of time when you're treatment planning and charting existing restorations, charting conditions. It's going to really increase your efficiency in your normal workflow day to day. So I hope that this video helped you. If so, subscribe to this channel. I put out new Dentrix tutorials and dental tech tips every week. So I will see you in the next one.